What's up, guys? Now that the outfield seems pretty well figured out, in terms of when Acuna gets back, you know what it's going to be, and Kelenic will likely be the fourth outfielder, and Kelenic will probably get the right field time while Acuna is coming back from his ACL. But you got Brian De La Cruz and some other guys that are going to fight for the bench spot and fight for relevancy, if not on the Braves, but other teams, and create some good competition, and I think that's a good thing. But I thought I would come on here and talk about the pitching side of things. Obviously, Joe Jimenez not being around for 2025 with his knee procedure. That's a huge blow. So we've been rumored to have been in contact with Ryan Stanek. And Ryan Stanek's had a rough couple of years numbers-wise, but the advanced numbers seem good. And obviously, he throws 98, 97, 98, a lot of strikeouts. The K percentage is 27.8. So that's something to build on. The walks and the little bit of wildness is something that Alex Anthopoulos typically doesn't like. But if you see something, if Alex Anthopoulos sees something and Rick Kranitz has used his magic dust, I have no problem with it whatsoever. I'm kind of on the Kyle Finnegan train, just because he's been in the closer role before. And he had like 28 saves last year, and he's been in the late games. So is Ryan Stanek, don't get me wrong, but I think Kyle Finnegan's been a little bit more consistent over the last couple of years. But I definitely have trust in Alex Anthopoulos and company and what they see. If they're interested in a guy, there's a reason, and you can fix it. And the expected numbers felt like they were better than the overall numbers for him last year, and a bit unlucky at times. Of course, that might be because the Braves see him very well. It's like a beach ball when the Braves face him. So maybe if he doesn't face the Braves and he's on the Braves, he'll get back to his elite reliever status. Plus, he's been an opener, too, at times for Tampa. So you could get a little creative there. Although I'd probably rather go with Grant Holmes or AJ Smith-Shawver in that realm. But I do think you're possibly missing another lefty in the bullpen, or definitely in the rotation, just because the Dodgers, Phillies, all the top NL teams and across the league have elite left-handed hitters. Rafael Devers in Boston. You can go down the line. So I think you may think about doing a lefty there. I don't know. I bantied Andrew Heaney. He's definitely a veteran, Charlie Morton-esque type, but I think he has less margin for error with his velocity. He's more of a control and less speed type, so I don't know if that plays. Obviously, Dylan Cease is still a thought, I guess, with the Padres struggling with their ownership and different things with their roster, maybe. But he's also a Boyers client and a pending free agent, so you want to be careful in that deal. But obviously, we've been seemingly in on that most of the winners, so maybe that would be awesome. Plus an extension, because he is a Georgia guy, but I don't know there. Obviously, I think there might be somebody that we're not even thinking about. Maybe Camilo Duvall and a Robbie Ray combo. Just some different things. Maybe, obviously, trades are a little bit finicky, and Camilo Duvall does have an issue with control and walks and deep counts and things of that nature. And the one thing Alex Anthopoulos can't stand is walks out of the bullpen. And I think Perdomo, Dylan Lee, and Aaron Bummer, you don't know what you're getting from Perdomo yet because he's coming off of injury, but the metrics and the things that he was able to put up before feel much better, and so that could be a sneaky 3. Plus you got Chase and Shreve, who knows, they're a lefty there, but obviously you're gonna miss AJ Minter. I think if Joe Jimenez was healthy, obviously right-handed reliever wouldn't feel as much of a need as it does. But I mean, our reliever is probably a little bit more realistic than finding a starter, because pitching is gold, and it's really hard to find and not pay an arm and a leg for it in terms of a trade. So we'll see. That would have to be a creative one in my mind. I'm willing for it. I mean, even Jordan Montgomery, but I don't know what type of deal and what type of prospect capital it would take. Plus, I think Jordan Montgomery is probably more likely, because Arizona just wants to kind of get rid of that contract. So maybe that feels more realistic. I don't know. But again, Jordan Montgomery doesn't have as much margin for error. More of a crafty touch and feel lefty, as it were. So just some thoughts there. And also the thought on Orlando Arcia is he's going to have a big chip on his shoulder. And last year was really bad for him. Not necessarily defensively. His arm's still a cannon. He's still an asset that way. But his at-bats were a lot of the time unwatchable. So I think he's definitely going to have a chip on his shoulder. And you'll be able to see the development of Nacho Alvarez maybe in spring training. That'll may push Orlando. Plus, you don't need him to be 2023 Orlando Arcia. Would it be great that he's an all-star and this, that, and the other? Yeah, it would be. But somewhere in between, like a 260, 14 homers and 70 RBIs, something like that, that feels goodish for Orlando Arcia, and you would definitely take that. And he's very valuable defensively. He just is. His antics may annoy you. He might not be your favorite player, but he still brings value to the team. Yes, could we upgrade? Yes, and would I welcome that? For sure. But I think the pitching side is more of a pressing need for the Braves. And those are my thoughts. As always, go Braves, champions forever. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, helps out a lot. Thanks, guys.